Hello, viewers. Welcome back. After that break for our nightly news with Jacqueline Colley, we are back in the studio here. I am Aliou Cisse, and my guest in the studio is Sidi Cisse, the Administrative Secretary of the National People's Party. And also my colleagues, Ansumana Eso Nyasi and Baboucarr Cisse, are also, with the convoy, giving us live updates as to where the convoy is and what is exactly happening there. Like I said, if you're just joining us, this is a special live broadcast as we bring you live coverage of the president's return from his Meet the People tour after ending his first leg tour, which took him to North Bank region, Central River region, Lower River region, and now the president is on his way back to Banjul. We saw earlier on in the evening he was giving a rousing welcome at the Kalaji Bridge, which separates the Lower River region and West Coast region, and at Brikama it was the same as Farato equally is the same. So we will try to link up with our reporters very soon, Baboucarr Cisse and Ansumana Eso Nyasi. Ansumana, if you can hear me, the last time we spoke you were around the Gambia College in Brikama. Where are you at the moment?
Right at the Union Gate. It's taking us the junction at Airport Junction in Union. We're welcomed or received by a much larger crowd than we have seen like Sumba, Sotokoi, Mandinaba, or even at New Yundum. What we saw here at the Airport Junction is a much larger crowd. I'm not sure how long it has taken to plan this, but I can tell you whoever was the strategist, I suspect CD, whoever was behind
definitely.
This.
How was the crowd, in Farato, Busumbala and Yundum?
Aliou, the crowds in Farato and Bundung were quite large, but again, like I said, what we saw, the crowd that received us at Airport Junction was much larger than the crowd in Kalaji. It appears to me that the crowd grows larger and larger as we get closer to Banjul. I'm not sure whether we would see a much larger crowd than we have seen in Airport Junction already, but given what we've seen since we crossed the bridge from LRR to Kalaji, I can tell you that I would not be surprised if we are to be received by a much larger crowd at Abuko. I understand there is another crowd waiting for us there. We're right at the airport gate now, going towards the Banjulunding end. It's been quite an interesting journey, Aliou. What will usually take maybe 3 hours or even 2 hours for a presidential convoy between Banjul and Kalaji is taking us 7, 8 hours? And I'm not sure what time we would reach Banjul. The convoy would pick pace for about 5-10 minutes, and then we would be stopped again by another crowd. And so this has been the story since we crossed the Kalaji Bridge. And yes. I can tell you, Aliou, this is a very exciting crowd.
Yes, Ansumana, I'll get back to you. Let me just transition to Baboucarr Cisse, who is somewhere around Lamen or Aboko. Baboucarr, if you can hear me loud and clear, where exactly are you at the moment?
I can hear you loud and clear. I am at Abuko, between Lamen and Abuko at the bridge. That's where I am now, after we left the Airport Junction. There are a lot of people here again, like the other places. We have people lined up here in their masses, and they are also waiting for the president's arrival in the KM. As you know, the handover was done at Kalaji to the governor of the West Coast region. And now the handing over again from the West Coast region to KM will take place at this location where I am right now. And I'm with the right person because the governor of the West Coast region, Usman Bojang, will hand over to the governor of KM, whom I am standing here with. Governor of KM, Itoni Kondo.
Antomu Honorable Bakari Karasing Ateleti.
Honorable Bakari, can you tell us the preparations that you and your people have done again at the West Coast region, from the West Coast region to KM. What kind of preparation have you done to welcome the president at this location?
Yalong ni manke the first time ti anunga ke tradition leti ni president bebola on this constitutionally mandated toto nka kele tradition wise na bebola one region to the other. The governor of that particular region will hand over to the receiving governor. So and as such, President by virtue of as head of state, Banko be nyatonko, aning fanang ala atefongo I mahamo min fongo doku afongo aya soto, wolom kabunya di molula, ka Cairo di molula, ka mobe bula ye fan kalamuta ye fan kalamuta banko kono waya tinale mol fanang na ni ala ku kalamuta ikafintina so wole be kirin jambi and KM is no exception mol le bijamil yalon ko yakanu ndu yala do ko appreciate president la project jamal le be nying region kono woto nim mol fundita bi ka welcome kila appreciation tandi la fo tandi yala womante tereng parce que atele ya doku so wo kamala mbe mol be tentula sultu mil nata janjuna kabi 5 hours ago be baturola andu ngalo ne fanan president no sawona dino moltel nyillo jango kala ka batu bari West Coast mabondino wole fanan to because ol fanan funditale atole ya jele in mass so andu atemu molete mi yalon ko momo akala vele kala bunyani horomo futandima
sa nali ay bendunjang alba benduna saloto jang albe dabana mintole
nintole ya bendunjang mba escort la le for Denton Bridge antol fana be handing over kala woleto to the governor of Banjul City because in position fululu le mantara nunjang there was never a governor for KM and a governor for Banjul City. We had mayors and they represented the local governance cadre, but the central government man rep soto nunjang so be president ala foresight ye woleje kon ning ala community sol tema nyantale ngamokije mi yalonko futanyomo aning ka mola problem olu kalamuta ase sonia no nyami so wala tina nyim position olu nata so mbe role le execute kanteng so nintolia receive jang from the governor honorable governor of West Coast honorable Usman Bojang mfana nabi tale for Banjul ngadi honorable Ibrahima Jawala at the Denton Bridge was after the Banjul
baraka bake governor ila okuma kanyima kan be to lambe jayla mba fana fele lori jang toni kontongani te fana e mundele represent
ante to mo aja Aiseta Rawaleleti the regional women mobilizer of KMC being content abakele comme banko la constitutional ya di ko sango san president nyanta fintila leka banko tamantama kala banko di ngol la sulolo alhamdulillah nga dandam bara wakata no nyen karo tile tanneti abata janka cross na danda na rawno ke fo fotata siarar ntol ndol nata murun nata grawno doku bin tol de kontano dorone because nani president mo president me ala hinente yatal andu ay mol kalamuta andu akamobe la judial so bi ni obe finti la kabonan tamo la kana dung kotenking ala state house kono nkonsi finti nga bendu o bendu nduro wole nyinsi jambi kaje ko nga lafo men soto ay ani ay bondi batani daha men ko ay batani toro men kono kono ni awulita ko abinala kana dung kabona tamola nyanta finti la nga bendu nder nya sahari ngola wole nsija andum be tarla jande fana babatunna anata tumotumo hanna anata janni suba be janne babatunna be mol be tentula be mol jayin abarika
baraka bake aja Ali also you know when you speak about NPP you must also mention APRC and we have some APRC members here also who joined the NPP supporters to welcome President Barrow. Keo ite Tony Kontongani fanambe lord large malto APRC.
Baraka bake ndetumu Ibrahima Songaldi ndalong APRC National Youth Mobilizer. Bim fanan nare nanjanne pour que President Barrow min keda bankola mansa kedi pour que bendung tola abota minna mi yalon ko is a very successful to bayri ndol dol manta but every day me QTV no makan pour ka make sure ko mba lonna abe minke kanje wo kammala bayri me alliance le kono president baro la ni siyo kono aka mu ndoko ndol fa me patio le kono mi yalon ko ndabi jele pour ka ko ndabe man sakunda nyin kono woto na party leader min kera the speaker of the national assembly ala nyaadon ka yakoto nada ko waji bolon pour APRC ning NPP wala government be ko ko kan bayri ndabe o government kono fana ndanya na katara jelo wo kammala nada ko president baro ay do ku jamal leke wala waji bolon pour ay ta gambianol kan pour kaje ko ay nyinin kay la lafin na kolla ila kolya kolla ani e kaja pour kaji be ko abe mina kelano anala man sakunda woto ning atata wala fo bi abe na dunkan nang greater banyun kono kon waji wolon tol kam pour kaji ko na abendum pour ka fay ko inimbara abaraka anala delegation o be bari mbem fola rek wolon ko to nya na ko his excellency president Adam Barrow with all malafale ka kuma call me go na ko he have done something in this country and a massive one indeed in terms of infrastructure development, agriculture, and all those things, education. Nothing jamal lejem. So the youth of the party, that's why we did a massive mobilization from Kalaji, because now Kalnya APRC funding to Brikama SSP to Airport Johnson to here at the entrance of KM. Pour kaje ko fanena na bula molfi pour kaje ko na his excellency president Adam Barrow pour ka welcome back in KMO in the greater Banjul inshallah wolon do fa na sio dalilo de jang inshallah
abaraka bake fanfan abaraka bake la kuma kan aliou wolon kuma ko wolte ngamin so jang adi abuko lamen border adi bridge ye mol la diam kan moyle ni mil diamuta wala be kere jam president amam frere jam folo de ngalu ne ko abe silo kan abe tarla aman jam fa bake janna folo bari felenti jang nim bota jang mbitala bawo gofano KM akoy be handing over kela dentin bridge le silang nim bota jam bita dentin bridge nim fraje fanan nin je mol français kacha anu se burnal kan studio fanan kono ka fale mimbe kere biti lola aliou back to you
Baraka Bake, Babukar Sise for giving us those live updates from the Abuko Bridge, where officials of the KMC, led by the executive coordinator Bakare Singate, are on standby awaiting for the arrival of the president, who is currently around Lamen. And with a heavy convoy, I know Babukar will move towards maybe Tabakoto or Talending, and just to tell us how the atmosphere is like around that end before he gets to the Denton Bridge. And then from KMC, they will escort the president's convoy to the Denton Bridge, where the executive coordinator Ibrahim Jawo and, of course, the people of Banjul, are also on standby to welcome the president, and then they will move with the president to the State House in Banjul. CD, earlier on, we were talking about the tour also availed the president that opportunity to also visit ongoing project sites. Yes, he has actually visited so many project sites, and then the notable one is a water project, control room. That is story number 6. The president has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to achieving universal access to clean and safe drinking water nationwide. He made the remarks following an extensive tour of several newly completed boreholes constructed under a government World Bank partnership. Kondorum, if the story is ready, let's just take a listen to that story number 6 on the water project in the Upper River region. And when we come back, we'll continue the discussion in the studio here with Sidi. That's story number 6. Well, while the control room tried to sort out that, story, which is story number 6 on the water project, in the Upper River region, just to give you a rundown, the president will actually resume his Meet the People tour. That's the second leg on Saturday after 2 days, break. As you understand, according to the itinerary, on Saturday, the president and his delegation will depart Banjul to visit the EPC Roads project, which connects Sangajor and Dasilame. And also there will be a site visit at the Kalaji, Kang, Manka, Joromen, Kunda. I think that there's a project there, and also there will be a joint meeting at Bondali as well. I think there will be another joint meeting at Block as well on Saturday. And on Sunday, I mean, the president will depart Banjul, I mean, and then he's going to visit, I mean, the 50-kilometer road projects. I mean, there's the Sukuta traffic light, Nema, Tabakoto, and Abuko. There's going to be a side visit. And also he's going to visit, I mean, the UTG Faraba campus, Load 2, which is making a huge progress at the university side in Faraba. And there's going to be a huge meeting at the Brikama SSP on Sunday.
Quickly, just to you about Sadei Investment Group, SIG Poultry Farm. You'll visit the two on Saturday.
Okay.
That's on Saturday.
I understand Babukar is having some interviews with some of the people who are there to welcome the president. Babukar, all over to you if you can hear me.
Hello, Aliu.
Yes, Babukar, where are you now?
Aliu, we did not move to Denton Bridge. We are still with we are still at
Abuko.
Between Abuko and Lamen at the bridge.
Okay.
And I have Fatumata Jawara here.
Oh. Okay.
Who, yes, at Abuko. Fatumata Jawara also want to speak to QTV. Fatumata, maybe similar program.
Nga al kontom baka ngal tentu ngal jay.
Yo, Fatumata biti fanam fele inata jang. Fatumata Jawara sa fumole fay len jimati folo.
Ntelemu National Female Youth President NPP andung telem nominated member le fanam munti.
Okay, Aliou Fatumata Jawara bija anda faransa fo mole a fanam fele anata jang ni suto kasi jang ka president o bendung. Fatumata sa fo ngi biatol fanang as alfana mum parendile ke bi ka president o bendung jang abuko ning lamentem.
Well, alhamdulillah, Mr. Nkai being a menji janga en kono fa bakele. Yalong hada madi ngo mandin kol kamem fo drong. Iko ning bengo be diala. Ika koro sinu lubondola. Bar bi men kata kombo tuba banko kanjanti KMC. We aitandile ko kunung. KMC NPP be KMC bulu nyame. Anim biya be nyame fata bale bije. Jikobe wararim bake bendindro Kenya ni ajube jang. Ambiance o min fo bijan ni mol minu be finta jang. Zimbal bijan ne gesel bijang hontinol bijam mandi katanta surwa katanta ada tulungo sifa bele bentaja mobe fanje ko nyin konole.
Yo silang bendundro be kala nyaadi ne bawo president fela man jamfa jana bake andu mo wilwi le bijang alba bendu na nyaadi ne
wala nga service chief so le soto nyato governor ba balak ni west coast ya nati nam fa futa ya hand over KM la governor ma député be jang tombon député wol ning londi député wolu aning patiola executive members sol lady council ol KM la alikalo la aning mo buñaari jamal diplomat sol fanam bi jamin yalan ko e pareta ka kafu ka bendung APRC fanan alliance partner li bijang anim partner alliance partner dol fanan bebe bengoto
moni ya sabu hani kabi atol musol albe lori MPP
alhamdulillah ñi wo kan yalan kumo tonya membelarim plato kan ay man mo ñinin ka naka man wo man ñinin ka resi wala ka kuma jam fandisi bari nga jele ko KMC jang gadino bu ka ken tol bu ka gadino ken dum jamman ka sene bankoti bari president of women enterprise fund create le ka gadino ken tol fane woto ay minke musole santo tay ke musole jam fanane adum funding ke wol fane ñi moto men jen dala jam suet la ñi projet ko le mi yalon ko funding ke wol min be sanji tanin sey kata sanji tanin muannin nane ibe trendi kan kombo tuba banko kan gambe ton ko nano be to bar kombo tuba banko ngala ten to bakele men keta KMC ti ibe musol trendi kan ni trenta fokari saba ibina manan ko dilele business all start ani momo la tala area menna woto say mota fala ko men mandi ngo karandinole ay ponyo karangola ko ku keno mecho pour nyin kamala ngaje ko gambe dingol wala minu ka wuli kata nyin ndura tuba banko kan adu kata ni sila jawla pour ka mol discourage ndi wala sa je ko si barakano la banko kan
Abaraka bake Jawara, lakumo nyata bake abaraka. Aliu, before I go, I also have one of my uncles here. You know the Baji Kundas are my uncle. Uncle, ebe jola kangole, ebe jola kafala. Kara sakdika safidi au bunu jume di APRC.
Nyekare som former councillor Mutlamin Baji. Nyenem the administrative secretary one of the APRC.
Okay, executive secretary of the APRC. apore ko mjat ne jug APRC ku pour le poubabe follow wakane muji jum beka support beka riben a president wala NPP.
Thank you so much, Babukar. Wali Woloja 2021, the APRC National Executive Committee, led by Fabakary Tombong Jatta, the Speaker of the National Assembly, nous support the President Adama Barrow, di wafon manje pour nafaiti suke. Ujuja nous report the President Adama Barrow, nous sof mati masakunda ya tenu moli, usofort ja kaira penangonda bajode suke. Ban bukana kujuju kubo nan kasufara ku kammi kaira bajode suke. Janding APRC kujo into alliance with President Barrow. Bukana kolela bukana kati APRC. Watch sina samenge kusofi Kamfenda. Incidents happened in Kamfenda. Mankamankunda, Busumbala, Farato, you name it. Bukana kati APRC. Ansoro kana tisari APRC fang bukana panko atake panku sofi. So none pour ebane ujoja rochi mixi Fabakary nara bukana mati APRC is an opposition with a difference. Difference eno wama problem bajon tu wala tukan sembe la tukan futegel tukan mulabay. Para punu jawla ko digo fame munu mik munu sanken munu so problem si cila. And ro ka solve ci problem si cila yoy kim yok jat ka sofar ko kam to rati APRC di NPP yo ci mi jat Fabakary mala jan ale babe wana sen frima fola mati ano san ma ñi lati APRC kabino president Barrow to nge toy o pour man jawjiri bodi president Barrow parce que loi ci Gambia sen mati a president no wara ajo a wore suke ñono si titi jamanti de yo kan sino sakaba yo ci mi ino e jaano APRC pour mun sof president Barrow no bodi president Barrow
Mbaring abaraka fanfandu sanke jak Ali, that's my uncle. And as I speak, I can hear the convoy behind me. The convoy is actually in Lamen coming, and we are about to move now to Denton Bridge. Ali, back to you in the studio.
Thank you very much. Babukar Sise, we are speaking earlier on to the executive coordinator and also, Fatimata Jawara, who is a nominated member of the National Assembly and former National Assembly member for Talending constituency, and of course, Modlamin Baji, who is administrative secretary of the APRC. Let's now go with the story we are talking about. About the water project in URR. I understand the convoy is approaching Abuko, but let's go with this story, and when we come back, we will continue with our discussion. Let's take a listen.
The appeal was made during the president's recent visit to the district, where local leaders and residents gathered to convey both their appreciation and their expectations for continued development. The embassy chief of Upper Salum, Honorable Seni Jawara, the National Assembly member for the constituency, Lady Councillor Maijalo, and Women's Representative Biko Sise all commended President Barrow for the numerous development projects already.
Story number 6, we're playing the wrong story. Story number 6 is the one on the water project, in the Upper River region. Sidi, so far so good. We have had, divert opinions on the tour, from, ordinary Gambians and even, senior party supporters. You have heard from the executive coordinator and, of course, even Fatimata Jawara. It seems KMC is not ready to let go.
Not only KMC, the whole country is not ready to let go.
Is it a competition between West Coast and KM?
Not only West Coast and KM. You have seen when the president went to North Bank, you've seen the crowd, you've seen the supporters, you've seen the celebration, CRR, a similar one, URR, a similar one, LRR, a similar one, West Coast, a similar one, and here we are in KM, and we'll see, like I said to you, we have our Tanabir in Bangkok. That is keeping everyone awake.
Exactly. So let's go with the story on the water project, and when we come back, we'll continue our discussion.
Borehole projects over the weekend, the president described water as the lifeline of every community and an essential ingredient for human dignity and development. He said the initiative is part of a broader national strategy to guarantee sustainable water supply, particularly for rural communities that have long suffered water scarcity. And while imploring beneficiary communities to properly maintain the boreholes, he emphasized that the partnership with the World Bank underscores his administration's commitment to strengthening social services and ensuring that development initiatives effectively reach the most vulnerable populations.
Water is accessible to our communities, and this is a big community. This is a single community with this capacity of 60,000 liters. It's more than enough for the community. We can connect other communities. These are part of the cluster boreholes that we are constructing countrywide. I think we have just completed about 68. Last year we did 20. but we have orders that to complete very soon. You know, the community, they are very, very happy because there is access to water. Women used to suffer a lot, especially in fetching water. The water table is very low in these areas of the country. So it's a big relief, you know, for the women. And also, you have now access to clean drinking water. We are very grateful. We thank our partners, and we congratulate also the community, you know, for the successful completion of such a project.
Fisheries and Water Resources Minister Honorable Musa Drame disclosed that 68 boreholes have been completed under the ongoing water project, along with 114 newly constructed pit latrines across various regions. He said the intervention aims not only to expand access to safe water, but also improve sanitation, which remains a critical component of public health.
It will impact the lives of the population, particularly the women and children. And it covers 140 communities throughout the country. And before this one, we also had one from JICA, that's 20 systems, which covers 62 communities throughout the country.
Previously, at a meeting at Sandukurau on Sunday, the president officially handed over keys to 34 newly constructed boreholes to the governor of Upper River Region, Sambaba. The infrastructure, equipped with solar-powered pumping systems, is expected to immediately serve thousands of households in the region. Ansumane Esonyasi for KTV News.
Well, there you heard Ansumane Esonyasi. We are speaking to Musa Drame, someone who is hardly gotten for interview. So you are so lucky. And of course, you know, you have also heard from the president, emphasizing the importance of access to safe drinking water. Very relevant. Sidi.
Yes.
How significant is this project, water?
I think these have answered.
It has always been, one of the key concerns from people anytime the president is on tour.
These have answered the question of the critics who are out there saying the president is on a political campaign. A project of this, you want to go to Sandukra and URR and tell those communities that this is not important for them, for the president to come and see, but it's not important that this project is here for them. I think definitely will case you out of the village. The president has visited 27 sites. These are all projects. So anyone in their right mind cannot call this a political, we are deviating or doing away.
But at the end of the day, whatever he does is political. The office is a political office.
Yeah, but we have seen people who were in government here in the early days. They were out about in the weekends doing their politics. So I think.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, whatever a sitting government does, you do it because you want to earn the trust and confidence of the people.
Yeah.
So everything is politics.
But coming back to this borehole that is supplying almost 40 communities is very, very important.
And this project is in Sandu, by the way, in the Upper River.
Ali, we are fortunate that you and I, of course, we may be born around here or in the Jaras, in the Kiang, but we know this country. Yeah. We know the problems of this country. We are not the city boys who probably, if you go to Brikama and after Brikama, they don't know the next community.
Like Brikama the Pasori.
Brikama the Pasori. So we know Brikama, exactly. We know the Kians, we know the Badibus and all that.
Definitely, we know our background.
We know how we grew up, exactly. In those areas. Mm-hmm. Water has been a problem. Water has been a problem, and we all know, we cannot have life without water. It's very important, especially clean water. And what we have seen just in this meeting, President Barrow have had in almost 48, boreholes, to the governor of URR. And we have seen other projects of water, services, facilities that he has visited. And we must congratulate the Minister of Water Resources, Honorable Musa Drame, for the job well done, making sure that these boreholes were given to the right contractors and delivered on time, because it would have never been delivered if the works are not finished. So definitely,
but also the issue of sustainability. It's one thing to come up with these projects, but sustainability has always been a problem. Earlier on you mentioned about, there's so many projects that have come under agriculture, yes, from Jawara's time to Jamia to Barrow's time. Sustainability is always a problem.
Yeah,
yes, government can go and lobby and get all these projects, multi-million-dollar projects, grants and loans and all those things. But once the project fades out, that's the end of it.
I think, recently, some of the projects that I've seen with agriculture, we had the Roots project. You know, they had different phases.
Yeah.
One or two of the phases have been phased out, and the people are still benefiting from this. And we have seen the Giraffe project. You know, we have seen what actually they're doing. You see, we need to educate our people to take ownership. You know, like the women enterprise, for example. You know, millions have been given to women to train them, to help them, and do something with their skills. And I think that is transferable skills, because when they train them, they help them how to, whether it's agriculture or whether it's manufacturing, you know, little things and here and there. These are things that they learn, and these are things that they go out there and do. And likewise, the youths as well. We have seen Giraffes, you know, giving phone to the youths who are back in, you know, out there doing their cultivating the land, you know, making, you know, agriculture as a way of making a life, and also women as well in Sapo, in Jahali Pachat, also been trained. And these are all things that are actually, it is not going to be a waste, because you learn the skills and you can use these skills and you can transfer these skills even to the younger ones. But for me, what I have seen in all these projects that are here that the president has visited, and he has visited numerous programs, even before, projects before today, we have seen the success stories of these projects. Take an example of the cement factory that Jah Oil is putting together.
In Berako.
And these are things that is actually going to help us.
Well, Sidi, it seems the president has finally arrived at Abuko,
Yes.
which at the border between the West Coast region and Kanifing municipality. That's the president being received by, the local authorities of KM, led by of course, the executive governor, Bakari Singate. I know the governor of West Coast region will finally, hand over, and then KMC will say, sir, thank you so much for giving us our president. It's now our turn to also prove, to him how much, we love and support him. But, those are live images, you are getting at the Abuko bridge. My colleague, Ansumana, if you can hear me, you are now at Abuko now.
Yes, Aliu, we are at Abuko now, and as you could see on your screens, His Excellency the President is shaking hands, exchanging pleasantries with dignitaries here, among them cabinet ministers, as well as Gambians from all walks of life, particularly those residing within the KMC who've come out, and authorities even from the Kanifing Municipal Council.
Oh, really?
I've seen some councillors here that are here who've all come out to welcome His Excellency as he makes it through the region all the way down to Banjul. I did mention earlier the issue of crowds growing bigger and bigger as we approach Banjul, and I can tell you, Aliu, I did mention that I wouldn't be surprised if the crowd here in Abuko is much larger, and guess what? It turned out to be the case. There is a long queue of dignitaries that His Excellency is having to, greet and exchange pleasantries with. And I'm sure as I turn around, I could see, Aliu, a much larger crowd behind us, all waiting to receive him as he officially enters KMC. And guess what, Aliu? I have with me the deputy spokesperson of the NPP and deputy speaker, Honorable Excellency, the President has finally arrived here at KMC. You've come receive who's come out here. What do you?
The crowd came to show gratitude, appreciation to His Excellency President Barrow. We have seen the tumultuous welcome from people on their feet, to musical entertainment, to walking in their vehicles, motorbikes. People came out from all walks of life. That shows how grateful they are to President Barrow and the National People's Party. For us as a party and as a government, we appreciate and this is the road to 2026 election victory, and we cannot help but to say, President Barrow, of course, the Gambians have appreciated the services that you are delivering. We will continue to deliver to them, and of course, we are aware that 2026 victory is certain for President Barrow and the National People's Party.
Thank you, Aliu. You've heard from the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, SK Njai, there, also expressing his excitement at the kind of welcome that His Excellency have been accorded by the people of West Coast Region and the KMC.
Just as much as you got the balanga dem, so you mune tenkar ingani karwen si kalama angalisi Olaf rek lan mo nekk yow fi nga ne mo nekk abuko si jamono ji.
Waaw Aliou jamono ji ñu ngi ni si abuko kii di njiiti réew mi agsi na fii ñi nga xamante ne ñoo nekk ay kilifa ay morom nomb tànk ci région bi ak si partiyam bi ak si council bi génn nañ pour ñëw teeru ji ko fii comme ni ma ko doon waxee rek si gannaaw liñ gis si liggéey mbooloo mi Aliou lii nekk fii ci KMC ñu ko teeru ci fii ñoo ëpp sax ñu ko teeru ci fi nga xamante ne mooy West Coast kon mu mel ni rek li ma doon loolu moo mujjee am ci kàddu yi ki nga xamante ne mooy Deputy Speaker bu National Assembly di Sidi SK Njie di wane kontaanteem waaye itam di wax ne rek lii li moo wane mooy nit ñi nga xam ne ñooy doomi réew yi dëkkee ci West Coast ak KMC ñu ngi rafetlu liggéey bi nga xam ne njiiti réew mi loolu la nekk di def.
Comme noo ko waxee rek yaa ngi doon wax ne bi ngeen egsee gis nga fa ay nga xam ne ay councilor lañ jógee KMC ñoo ñan lañ.
waaw Aliou bokk na ci ma ràññee mooy Mansali ndax xam naa ne moom kenn dere mbir ne APRC la nekk naam ne dëgg la seen parti mu ngi am li nga xamante ne mooy alliance ak AP ak NPP waaye foog naa li moo firndeel rek mooy ne lii national event la ndax baati réew mi moo sas kii di njiiti réew pour mu génn te ñoom ñi nga xamante ne tamit ñoo nekk ci KMC di wala liggéey ci réew mi lañ bokk te génn nañ pour teeru ko seen biir région fii.
jërëjëf Ansumana Eso Nyasi suma naataango moo nekk di ànd ak président si too bi moo ñu doon jox update lu nekk di xew fale ca Abuko Sidi dafa mel ni convoy baa ngi very slow but they're making progress.
It's moving. I told you ibe ñoon tangol jalabi foog na li lum firnde mooy ne Gambien si Adama Barrow seen xarit la because fu ko jëlee kallaaji ba tey doomi Gambien ne kese ñoo fi jeena te ñi yëpp lu ñoo wone mooy ne den support président Adama Barrow den bugg a gis président Adama Barrow delluwaat State House pour lan yokkute ak jaama bu ñu jox te loolu leer na te yaakaar na képp koo xam ne am nga ñaari xel su ne président Adama Barrow su soobee yàlla dafa dem State House 2026 December 6th warootuloo am ñaari xel because nit yi jéene leen West Coast KM loolu lépp lu mu firnde mooy ne président Adama Barrow is the choice of the people.
waa Sidi da ngeen war a liggéey tam de.
waaw ñun waxu ne den liggéey yëpp.
da ngeen war a liggéey
moo tax ñu ne la joxe ñu beneen mandat
toog rek lem loxo nga ne waaw président bi dafa andi si politique la de.
am nga tey ñu bari ñuy toog xalaatu noonu ne lii dafa am. dem foo ne the usual thing Adama Barrow dafa ñëw dem State House.
waaye mun naa am na ñaame dañ kumpa rek bugg a génn pour.
déedéet képp koo xam ne yaa ngi ko gis fii mu ngi fecc mu ngi taatu mu ngi toog di dal. ma ne la su àggee Banjul si Tanabir bi si nga xam luy xew.
Well, so the other thing is, I mean, it's important President dem si too yi nii mu xam lan moo nekk di xew at ndaak ministre mi technicien si moom si delloo State House liggéey bi léegi lan moo war a nekk next. because liñ dee gis ok mun naa am ne am wrong waaye ñu ba dañ jaar bés ñu xam ne waa ji mu ngi ñëw rek ñu roos profito dem defar benn nice su ñëwee woon ko ne lii ak lii la fekk in actual sense we don't talk the exhibition office.
No, the thing way, not that I work with Barrow, President Barrow, but he's a different person. So why lol nak sama so di andani ngay lijandi so why lu rafeti ñu ne def ko tagani def. But I know one person. I know one thing. He's a very serious person. Nekk na ko ne ku degula te nekk na ko xamne liggéey kat la. President Barrow def de liggéey 7 days a week. The lumde liggéey si waxtu in a day is over 8 hours every day. Te gis nga to mu mel nii suñ demee nii at the end of the day suñ toogee dañoo compile a report te moom def a timeline kan la sola report boobu te dina make sure ne report boobu is ready dina make sure ne ñu gestu report boobu you are talking about site visits yoo xam ne last year bu moo dem si la dëkk gox yooyu de lii laa leen di defal te mu ngi delluwaat foofu di seet liggéey yooyu so man suma boppa xam naa ne technicien yu mu àndal bindakat yu mu àndal lépp loo xam ne ni di jàmbat nañ ko fa dinañ ko binda te report boobu dinañ ko teg si taabulam bi te dina si def loolu óor na ma because bu président Barrow dooree as president of the Republic of the Gambia Aliou yoo xam nga si dëj ji yoon demalante bi jafe na ndox jafe na nag yi sax fu ñoo naanee jafe na waaye fu mu nekk ni mënuloo dem si benn gox boo xam ne ay sàmmkat la fa nekk ñu ne la ñun ñàkk ne ndox amut yow sàmmkat la man sàmmkat la so I mean that's the reality you know we are not sitting here you know just to talk for sake of talking sake we are telling the Gambian people this is actually what is happening you go to the Kiangs you go to the Badibuls you go to the Nyanis you go to the Samis you know it is there for everyone to see yes it's our tax money that's what they will say but we have regimes here who were here and they did not use that tax money wisely to bring development to the people. So it is important for people to understand President Barrow is here and to leave a legacy that he will ever be remembered for the president who came and did a massive transformation of infrastructure in this country.
The second leg of the tour is starting on Saturday. He's going to have 2 meetings in Bondali and Block.
Yes.
And on Sunday, he's going to have a huge rally at the Brikam SSP. And on Monday, he's going to be at Busumbala. What should we expect during the second leg?
You should expect what you have never seen.
That I have never seen bigger than 2021.
Yes. What you will see in Brikama will be bigger than the 2021 nomination for the NPP. I can tell you that. You can take it to the bank. And if you want to offer us your service, we'll pay for it for a live coverage. Aliou, Gambian kolo lafta ku dantandela. Ñun ñi xam ne so déggee ñu ne Gambia no problème. Lu ndaw la Gambia ni sola. Jaamalen sola, buga gis liggéey, buga gis yokkute.
No, one thing I can tell you for sure that we all agree. No doubt about it. President Barrow as an individual, he's a very tolerant individual. That we all accept. Yes? If there's one issue that many Gambians are still not kind of okay with the way the system is running is perhaps people say the way the government is fighting corruption.
Yes.
You know, many people are like, nguur bi nekkuñ di fight corruption mu ngi xew fii ñu ngi luubal ay millions waaye xam nga nguur bi nekkuñ di def dara yooyu ak yooyu noonu nanga de respondé si loolu
nga dafa important dafa am solo su ne
ñu ba dañ jamono ke mun naa président ba dafa lenient du dee bëgg a sonal kenn nit yi jaamala and all those things so Gambian being the Gambian people take advantage ak nañ def leen ne and then that's it
xam nga soo seetee dafa am solo
mun naa am natural that's the kind of person he is mun naa am yàlla noonu la ko bindee like du dee bëgg a sonal kenn and he's just
President Barrow ku déggu la te President Barrow bëggut jël alali kenn waaye soo ñëwee si ñuy toog ñu ne corruption su ma ne tey ma ne Aliou dafa corrupt war na am evidence ñuy xëy rek nga gis Aliou mu ngi dawal moto bi nga ne def ko sàcc xamul Aliou naka la ko amee
te ñankaar laa amee de tay maa ngi dox
doxuloo dinaa Mohamed mu jox la moto te second li mooy soo war a tuumal ne kii dafa sàcc da nga war a am evidence and I think ñi ngi maa seetaan ñi déglu na ma déglu ak xel bu ma déglu ak xol dafa yomba pour nga tuumal nit waaye dafa naari pour nga den si koor bi si attekaay bi nga am evidence boobu gis nañ fii foo xam ne case yu mel ni the former PS.
So sometimes you go.
No, jégal bi jégal bi mooy. Nit ki mun nga anybody can go to prison.
Yeah.
But if you su fekkee ne dem nga prison te bu nga nekkee prison nga nekk somebody boo xam ne you are reform nga wecciku nga regret what you have done. waaye foog naa mën na laa jege.
waaye waa ji am na ñu nekk mile two daanaka ñu 100% yëpp ne regret nañ de waaye ba léegi ñu ngi fa de.
de man gisanguma loolu.
really. soo di nga bëgg ñu nekk mile two amul ki nga xam ne da nga regret.
waaye su regretté mile two dafa am committee mun ngaa dem si committee bi nga ne leen lii ak lii ak lii la saa yu nekk waaye let's talk about corruption and a serious note. It is important for people to understand soo ne diw dafa corrupt and you feel ne diw dafa sàcc bring the evidence.
But
I can't go to the money job because it's like, am I speaking to CDC of Kachadula?
No, but that's what I will always say. That's what I will always say. I squeeze people.
For me, when you were doing Kachadula and being Minister of Affairs, CD, you were what?
No, but I won't point at somebody and say they're corrupt.
CD, you the guy cameras in the copy.
I still do that. Ali, I'm still the same CD. No, Ali, I think people need to understand one thing. CDC yesterday is then CDC today. When I find somebody doing something, if I find a police officer in the street is doing something wrong, I will talk to him or her to say what you are doing is wrong. And if you do not change, the next I see you, I don't need to talk to you. I'll talk to the IGP or I'll talk to the minister and say so and so needs to be done. You know, in my opinion, what he's doing is not right. For example, what people need to understand, if you say somebody is corrupt, you make accusation about somebody, bring the evidence to court. But people sit and say this person is corrupt. And then, you know, we have rule of law here. President Barrow came, every Gambian was crying. We don't want somebody to pick and be thrown at the hotel, which is mile 2, as Yahya Jammeh would call it. If you believe somebody have done something wrong, and this person have to go to court, you must go there and defend these things. And it's quite important that these things are done. We have seen the Ministry of Health. You know, those who have been alleged, the matter is before court. We are seeing the former Minister of Lands and Local Government, Honorable Abadrame.
We've seen the audit report also, you know, exposing so many financial.
Yes, but you know, when these audit reports are done,
the Sweat Project and all those things.
No, when these audit reports are done, they should be handed to the police for investigation. Yes, and we need to, our police force need to double up in terms of investigating some of these things, because corruption is not something that is easily
sometimes
investigated.
They also wait for the case file from the Minister of Justice. Sometimes the case file will be at the Minister of Justice, I don't know.
Yeah, but
the police cannot investigate. The police cannot investigate if they don't get the case file from AG to say, go ahead and investigate this issue.
The police will do the investigation. And when their investigation is done, if there is a case that somebody needs to answer this case, that person will be charged. And if he's charged, will be taken before a court of law. And you know, we don't have a law that says you are innocent, you are guilty before innocent. You are innocent until you are
proven guilty.
Okay.
Proven guilty.
So when they are taken to court, that's where they have to actually, you know, bring the evidence.
But on a more serious note, we need serious attitudinal change in the government, in private sector. I mean, sometimes that's the problem.
I agree with you. Yeah, we have to change. We have to change as people. We have to change as people, but I think
because
it is everybody's
what happens is that sometimes it's the same people in the system who are doing certain things who will go back out there and start saying the system is not working right, and you are in the system. Sometimes I find that very interesting.
Yes, because you have a responsibility. You have a job to do. If you fail to do your job, and you turn around and said, Baro Lijewood, Baro Defudara, Baro cannot be in every ministry, Baro cannot be in every government, in every offices. So it is your responsibility today. If you're a classroom teacher, you have your kids before you, you have to teach them. You don't teach them, you say, Baro to come and teach them.
And that's why, because at the end of the day, everything comes back to him as a president. Just like we are saying in the case of Jammeh, there are so many crimes that have been committed. He didn't commit them directly, but because he was the president, now everything comes back to him. And that's why people expect him. Yes, he is that tolerant leader, democratic, he doesn't want to disturb anyone. But sometimes Gambians, you don't give them too much. When you give them more space, they...
Barrow have spoken very loud that he's against corruption. And I think the Anti-Corruption Commission, when it's established, it will actually help. And the government of Adama Barrow is working tirelessly to see that this Anti-Corruption Commission is here before the end of the year. And I guess the journalists, know what is actually happening. And hopefully we'll get there. But you've said something which is very important. Our attitude, stinks. I'm sorry to say this, because the very people who sits there and make all the allegations about certain institutions, they're the very people who do not really want to move things forward. If we all play our part, we can move this Gambia forward.
And the unfortunate part is, if my relative is involved, I don't want to talk about it.
No.
I feel like, so that's the problem. So that's why I often tell people, sometimes the system is just a reflection of who we are as a society.
Yes. I mean, you have seen people, you have seen politicians who will accept certain things, when they're in government. They are not in government. They start saying, it's bad. I mean, for me, I don't understand that. You have to be consistent, in what you do. And
yeah, sometimes, you just change the goalposts when it favors you.
It's
a game that if you are not in,
if you are not
in, you wouldn't know how the game is being played.
That's right. But for me, as far as I'm concerned, it's everybody's responsibility to fight corruption. If I go to a particular institution where I have to pay my bill, I will pay my bill and I'll ask for my receipt. You go to a particular place, you need a license. You don't want to do the normal process. You don't want to follow the normal route. You wanted to go and give Aliu 300, 400 to get you a license. You are corrupt. Yeah. So it is us who have to change. So
both the giver and the receiver are
culpable. So this is the thing.
See, if there is one most controversial issue throughout the whole talk for me, it's the issue of the crocodile.
Yes.
Who asked those hunters to bring crocodile for the president?
I mean, you see.
I saw the story. I was like,
I was looking.
I thought so. What will President Barrow do with a crocodile?
I mean, where is he going to take the crocodile to? These are symbolic. I'm one person, who believes that wildlife, have to be protected. We need to look after these animals, or do the right thing, because it is good for them to stay wherever they are. But Gambia, we have this culture, we have this tradition. These are things that we have to try and find a balance. The Hunters Association believe traditionally when presidents or leaders, happens to be in certain parts of the country, they have to do certain things, that you and I probably we don't understand. And that's what we saw. They brought a crocodile for the president as a gift. And I don't think the president was at the scene at the time. But I was talking to somebody and said, hey, honey bamboo kadomole. So
I spoke to someone who is a Kundang. He was like, don't worry about Kundang.
Yeah.
So I couldn't just imagine seeing the president standing and the people present the crocodile to him.
But that didn't happen.
No, that didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
Yeah.
But I think it is the Hunters Association is, they wanted to do something.
Yeah.
And that's what they can do.
Yeah, because even the case of the hippo, which was killed and also taken to Mankam Kunda, I mean, I spoke to someone, he was like, if I was close to the president, I would tell him never for them to bring it there, because it's not a good PR for him.
I mean, yes.
Sometimes people have their different opinions about certain things, views and all that.
But Gambia, we have the culture, we find ourselves in the Western accepting certain things, but we all know these hunters. Why do we have hunters here? They kill crocodiles, they kill hippos, and they do all sorts. So we just have to try and find the balance. Probably, they may not do it again. It's one of those things will happen, but if they have spoken to others, they will say, please don't do that. You can present anything to the president, but not a crocodile that is being killed.
Let's now come back, because in coming about this attitudinal change of people within the system. Nkaje mojama ibe dokola masa kunda kono. Mojama sontali, yes, President Barrow as an individual among problems, is very tolerant, and then, but mojama kami in terms of corruption, Masakunda is not doing much about fighting corruption. Maybe because, President Barrow is so lenient, abuka mo batandi. So mojama we can do whatever we want and we'll just get away with it. Yamero fana mantra mol fen can sign, because attitude is a problem.
Akumayata bake pro moyalo Masakunda ga tamanyami. Masakunda e bundal lesoto. Parce que President Barrow adolom president is the chief executive of this
government. Dr. Siya ako kabira be dan ko kada ko jama amalu no bare sai. Ay ko jama lo
is the chief executive officer of the government. Institutional lebije do ko dinkral lebije wo do ko dinkralu fem nabe kelaje molle fana marto do ko dinkral anu fana do ko dinkral fana kontibo la nyande dale ka so ni ko corruption misal fe ma foko amu fenel mi yalon ko agent accept la but nintra tumiro kete dawada cede yaro nyande kelaje anu ni ko kankar kunda kare nyendo ko dinkra kale corruption lebije wala kula kede men silomanda wo kiskisro nyande kelal ando kiskisro e kala nyami bundale bi je min kam Masakunda la soto kiskis mimi audito national audit office wala jibero to ni fenje mi anon kanen silo manta womu jibere mi yalon anyanda di la police ya jibe fo e CDR ko tonya de CDC de ay ñim million carré domo ay ñim keme carré jo ay ñim dal sitan carré domo wo fana ni wo keda anyante tala kiti bungol to woto wolle fana be jibero kala ka CDR ko tonyalo ite nyintale ite ma nyinta bare ngaje ko kato mimbe ke kam na masakunda be sirmin keda president baro masakunda de abe min ke kan sanye ka ka commission on londi anti corruption commission mi alon ko na lota njikete ko abe ku jamale soneyandi la mimbe den ni corruption ku nyala because ngajal ka fo mimbe ko the human rights commission they are here. We have seen the wonderful job that they are doing. So when we have another commission which is anti-corruption commission mo fenere mi alon ko abe molde mala bake nyin corruption kumo baraka bika aliu jana la motobita warande aliu be sirin din grado ko a sunyale a keten yalo fana kure mi alon ko amanya ngajale mi alon ko tumiro late kan andi wo tumiro ibtara kitio dolmuta foye samba bu njawla o kule mi alon kumada baraka wulu don ka vo karbe corrupta o dunia karobel anda ngal telefon ka vo corruption o bi
atala ka fa ko nyako nyibe foire mo buga munada foire bare do mané sol dron isa ko
bare fu do fana bo attitude you know mo la jiko fana nyanda falinda parce que bi ni be do ko la dinkrato ital ko alu nin karo fada e ke jole wo jomin kadila banko mo la kodolom namu jola la kodolo won wora ni debe siro do kudlato iman son do ko kele ko president baro ikole sabotage warande ka kuke pour ka fa ko president baro la masako na mandra do ko la ite ke fa ngala murundi koma parce que ite ko bureau min sotoje iko dala sumi iko transo min sotoje ni me taro bondo bala tena fal wo kuma ita baga pour mo dialo wodo bi gambe natana nyaado tol bele natata koma tol bele woda beta pour gambe dingol yaje ko momo ye duladi la lanno la sabu itele nata ko palaso nyini ko lafta kala doctorol lafta kala no sol lafta kala wodo nimmo nata futema o leptano pour ala sulo fo jara rolomba fo nyinin karol babul fanyande fenne soto layte bul akaye fi sabidillah alana la kilaye bareka mol fonje mi alon ko misal fe a driver license a passeport ku ko ye borum ngano kare kilin karfula karsab do sina bibi do ay wili kilon di dola o sini wala kayto nyika kadel o sifal mu kule mi ko ndeme yo wili kilon di ane mi o license nyindin ndol be mu tinyar lal wala nyanda kala kudu mi alon ko nyanda danna parce que modo mi alon ko konte nyon mon fen so de kadela pour ngana ID card bondi wala da ngana driver license bondi ibende tora kan nde sula do kayto bare ben tora kan parce que man fendila ibe hako soto kaya ibe dunna na hakoda ando mi ke modila mi ke me fulodila yo ke me fulodo wo ke me fulo man ke halalo dite amanke fende mi alon ko ite nyanda do mola wote de mole do momi alon ko ibe tinyaro le ke kan ibe bankole tinya kan andi be fongol tinya kan
and in the funniest part ikra do wol camera come they are doing you a favor
fahambali yalo
yeah
fahambali
ko da doing you a favor
fahamole dasata warande tawnte yalo ikaje bi womi mbo palaso nyindo na man tro palaso do sini na sula do kaydo niyo kala aju sokabu barate yalo bira bi jata ka minki akala na tambo minkeje c'est problème so bi ibe uniformol be balaba warande be palaso sini isabo palaso do na palaso nyindo nin do bo palaso nite mo tilimbalea nite na bi sula do wala ni woye tilimbalea ba jala nyaade you know wala kumada pour be fenfenkela ngam fango jibe nin tol bodulado nin moyo kendol fabe di yalla fada di yalla wala kumada ali
I think comme nako waxe rek dafa am solo trop because in life doomi adama lepp loy def rek nga solal elek
wow
because dafa am solo trop and that's why ñi nga xamne yaangi liggéey ci biir nguur yes naam degala mu naam nuclear di support I mean ruling party bi it's up to you ku nekk am nga fo faral that's your democratic right right
of course
waaye li ma day gën a soog moo nekk nga nekk di saaf si nguur ba pare the next minute yaa ngi ko sabotage di def yoo xam ne pour just wane ne ok nguur bi is failing waaye next minute si man foo naa ne réew mi bi nga nekk di saaf nekkul président Barrow because yow maybe yow li nga def noonu maybe ku mel ni man ñooy face di problème at the end of the day
I think ñun Gambia am na loo xam ne am nañ si jafe-jafe loolu nag tàmbalewut si président Barrow o Yaya Jammeh boobu bi Jawara la mooy ne bu amee suñu boppa dañ war a jàngal doomi Gambien di ñu xam lan mooy
lu am solo la
moom sa boppa
lu am solo
xam nga moom sa boppa dafa nekk loo xam ne lu am solo la danga gisee caag na ñu ne diw yow xamuloo sa boppa nga foog ne dañ laa saaga déet saagul la ñaaka xam sa boppa nag daf laa lor ñaaka xam sa réew daf laa ron ñi xam ne lépp loo xam ne fii si kaw suuf Gambia bii moom fii ñun ñëpp a ko moom su nga ko saamee pour ñun la su nga ko yaaxee pour ñun la kon loolu dafa am solo ne pour Gambia ni teg ownership ne yow su fekkee ne tey yow docteur nga yow yaa nekk yow yaa jóg nga ne dama bugg a nekk docteur su fekkee ne bu nga jël liggéey bi ñu laa fee fukka yow nanku nga ne fukka bi mooy sa fee bi kon warloo fa toog ñaari fan o ñaari weer ñetti weer nga ne man lu ma am amul ma njëriñ suma njaboot bi mun ma ko amee nga nekk sa liggéeykaay doo def dara loo xam ne lu baax la ku ñëw rek nga bugg a ñaan ko xaalis ku ñëw nga bugg ko teg loo xam ne antanu ko yow lu nga def loolu du yoon ëllëg si biir su fekkee ne yow nekkuloo si liggéey boobu keneen su fa nekkee yow sa njaboot su ñëwee su nga ko tegee loolu naa dina la ne du la ne yow soo ñëwee si liggéey boobu place boobu noonu nga am soxla boo xam ne nga bëgg a ñu fajal la ko ñu teg la loolu du la ne so lu ma bëgg a pour nit yi understand mooy képp koo xam ne yaa ngi liggéey fii naa teacher naa docteur naa président naa ministre xam ne bés da nga koo bàyyi.
ndax journaliste nga.
naa journaliste
yaa ngi ni bàyyi nga mic bi léegi politicien nga.
benn journaliste laa waaw soo nga xam ne Aliou bés dina yow di mu fa jéem. ide da ngaa retire da ngaa bàyyi liggéey bi.
da nga ko wala mu bàyyi la.
waaw mu bàyyi la. kon nag loo faa def ko mu baax. parce que ëllëg si biir ñoo xam ne dañ laa fekk foofu nga leen toroxal nga leen bun xatal nga leen jaay yëfi xamadi ëllëg yaa ñoo may tase si mbedda bi fekk yow muloo jamono boo xam ne yaa ngi place bi soo dafa important képp koo xam ne foo munta nekk rek nga bàyyi sa xel ne ëllëg si biir doo fi nekk sa njaboot mun nañ sola yow loo xam ne te yaa ngi koo liggéey loolu dafa am solo and we just have to be mindful about that.
It's very important.
It's very, very important. Sometimes we get so comfortable in whatever we are doing. Yes, you can be here today, you can be very comfortable, but tomorrow you may not be here.
You don't know. Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. Today we talked about President Jammeh.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? 22 years.
That one day,
Nabanko.
Sidi will come back from exile.
Yes.
And then...
and I'm here. So it is important. And that's what even people in offices, people in position, my advice to them, just be mindful.
It's very important.
Just know that tomorrow you may not be here. And if you are not here...
Te li nga wax ne lu am solo la lu dul jeex amut du alal du doole dara xam nga moo tax lépp looy def rek jiital sa réew. I mean Gambia should come first.
Yes.
Man li ma def okay. No, presidents come and go. One day Barrow will go, but Gambia remains. So at the end of the day, it's not about Barrow or NPP or Usainu Dabo or any other politician. It's about the Gambia. So Lepulo Deflet, Nanga Mason is in the best interest of the country. Te Nanga Hamne plus Boneka, Nekune Yagen Kuneka. No, it's just a person of privilege.
Yes.
Muna am na thousands outside Ningamne, Muna ñoo def better than yow li nga nekk di def.
Wow, loolu mooy dëgg.
And then sometimes that's the problem. I mean, people think, okay, because you occupy a certain position, you can connect. No. It's just a person of privilege.
Lu guy wara xam mooy nguur ak party is never different.
Exactly.
I can support MPP today. You can support UDP, the other one can support DOI and all the other parties. Fine. But loo xam ne pour nguur bi la, nañ ko bàyyi xel. Because tey, yes, when it's politics, we're here. But when it's government, we're here. So whatever is here for us is for the Gambian people. So that's important pour ñu bàyyi loolu xel. Because da nga gis ne nit koo xam ne, yes, you are a civil servant, but you are an opposition. You don't belong to MPP as a party, but you work for the government. You believe ne yow lu nga def MPP nga xañ pour ñu am carte. Te yow sa jëf boobu yàlla mun laa seede ne yow lu nga def noonu MPP nga wish bad or President Barrow nga wish bad, but that will not come after President Barrow. It will come after you. What goes around comes around.
And that's why for tam mota for tam nguur bi dafa war a try ñu jéem a seet how best dinañ gis ne képp kam yaa ngi liggéey si nguur tam sa fay mun a nekk loo xam ne adis war naa mun a ok mun naam doo mun a miss all your expectations waaye dundin bi tam adis mu mun a xala yomba tuuti si yow. Because ñu bari bu dee koo xam ne ok like yaa ngi liggéey si nguur maybe yow li nga fay li nga dee fay weer sax mun sa fay sa luwaas sax foo jaar fa nga jaar.
non waaye gis ne bi président Barrow toogee ba léegi ñaata salary increment la def over 100% lu ko ëpp waaye yaa gis ne dëgg-dëgg Gambia soo ñu compare with the sub-region yaa gis ne sun fay bi is maybe lesser waaye da nga gis ne loolu nekk na loo xam ne that's why we have the Ministry of Public Service is working on a lot of work.
Babakar Boy
and team, they are doing a lot of work to do the restructuring and lot other things that they are doing. So lolu yeb nek na lo xamne possibly come after 2026 when President Barrow is back in State House, inshallah, we'll have a minimum wage cap will come in.
Because
so that will also be something
it's important because for me, I don't believe this piecemeal increment is a solution.
No.
At this stage, what we need is a total restructuring of the salary scale. Whereby you will say, okay, no one who works in the government should receive minimum anything below 10,000. Just an example.
Yeah,
when you come with this thing,
that's called minimum wage.
It's a minimum wage.
And I think
exactly.
with Mr. Minister
if we don't
Boy
do
and
that,
team,
and that's why people are now leaving the government and going to private sector. Maybe they assume private sector is better. Even though sometimes it might not be the actual case.
Mr. Boy and team are working on that. But leaving the public sector for private sector, that is as all as mankind.
Yeah,
you go all over the world, people are living, even the federal government in Washington, people are living in to go to the private sector and all that. That is something that has always been here. But I believe what Minister Boy and his team are doing, working tirelessly to make sure there's a salary restructuring done, minimum wage scheme is done, and all. These are all things that we believe that we should have an MPP government come 2026 on the 6th of December, because these are some of the work that we need to continue.
You've been here 10 years now.
But we have done a lot. You cannot count the coalition time when some are pulling legs, some are pulling arms.
Yeah, who was pulling legs?
We know what was happening actually.
No, nothing was happening. President Barrow was the president.
Yes, President Barrow was the president.
Yes.
And he has a team that he came with to work with. Some of those team or some of those people in the team actually wants to pull him out of the seat before the end of the 5 years.
Well, that's
anyway, that's history. That's history. Another will say, and he chose to take the clothes off, whatever color it was, and then went out as MPP and defeated them mercilessly. And we will defeat them again come 2026, December 6.
It's very important. I mean, let's now look at the issue of the health sector.
Yes.
Because normally the issue of, health, and all those things.
You see, we have got the health scheme, the health insurance scheme that is rolled out in a pilot project where you have the nurses and the security forces. And Aliu, I don't know how long ago you last visited the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital. But recently I paid a visit and I've seen quite a lot of improvement.
Improvement in terms of what?
Infrastructure.
Is that enough?
I'm not saying it's enough. From independent, what we had, we created what I call a national health service, sort of, whereby you go to a hospital and pay a it was then $5, $10, $15. You go to a hospital and pay the $5, that $10 or that $50, you expect to get your medicine. That doesn't happen anywhere in the world.
Why?
It is not sustainable. That packet of paracetamol that you are taking is far more than the $5. So government is putting...
Well, Sidi, those are live images. Well, viewers, those are live images from Cow Johnson, where the presidential convoy is now driving towards Westfield. Imagine, Sidi, since the time they arrive at Abuko, they are just getting to Cow Johnson now. Well, viewers, you're watching QTV, and this is a special live broadcast we are bringing you as part of the president's return to Banjul after ending his first leg of the 2025 Meet the People tour. Those are live images you are getting. Working in Instagram QTV, ci jamono ji convoy bi agsi na fi nga ne moo nekk Cow Johnson. Imagine depuis bu ñu àggee Aboko léegi la gaay soga egga Cow Johnson. Lii live broadcast la bi nga xam ñu ngi leen koy indil pour gannaaw président Barrow bu mu jeexal li nga ne moo nekk first leg si Meet the People tour bi mu dee am at bu nekk fi mu nekk ni convoy baa ngi fale ca Cow Johnson Latrikunda di jublu towards Talending ñëw Westfield that continue Banjul suma guest bi studio mo nekk Sidi Cissé yéen ñoo xamee ngeen ko moo fi doon def kacadula moo nekk suma partner on State of Affairs partner nag léegi politicien la léegi rek bàyyi ñu waaye moo nekk suma guest bi so ñu ngi discuss about too bi ak yeneen yoo xam ne mu ngi si biir nguur bi loo xam ne dafa am solo pour ñu waxtaanee ko so right now loolu moo nekk di xew convoy baa ngi fale ca Kaw Johnson di jublu Westfield bari mo nyitamento banko nyaten kola convoy wala for Kaw Johnson kabring pour abuko KMC la executive coordinator Bakar Singate aning mo koteng wala na tara pour ka bendung aning kafuba wala tara pour ka bendu nyitamento iba dandankang kabo abuko nyitamento ibe alati kunda wala Kaw Johnson ti kata talendeng Churchilltown dan yeta Westfield continue Old Jos one and then any president bita for Denton Bridge ila mi yalan ko banyulun ko fana be je ini la executive coordinator Ibrahima Diawo do fana be banko jaran ko pick la from Denton Bridge in yeta Banjul so and then the other images were from Westfield at this current situation at Westfield Dlamel ko Babukar Cissé at Panambeje just to give us live images. So those are the two live images you are getting at Kaw Johnson, the actual convoy, and of course the current atmosphere at Westfield, where also people are gathering to welcome the president back to State House after ending the first leg of his Meet the People tour, which is a constitutionally mandated, exercise that the president must at least twice every year go around to meet with Gambians to share with them, his government policies and programs, but equally to hear, what their concerns are as far as his policies and the impact of his policies and programs are on the ordinary citizen. So that's what's happening right now, and you are watching QTV, the Gambia's first private TV station. I am Aliou Cissé, and we're broadcasting live from our studio here on Kairaba Avenue, and also getting live images from the convoy, where my colleague Ansumane Esonyasi, who has been covering the tour, is with the presidential convoy, and also Babukar Cissé is also, at different locations, giving us updates as to what is happening at those particular locations. So that's what's happening right now. CD, it seems the convoy is making progress. They are now at Johnson Cow and heading towards Westfield.
It's slow progress.
Yeah,
it's slow progress. It's going to be a very long night. Yeah. The distance between Kaw Johnson and Abuko, I think they have done it in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Or an hour plus. Yeah. Yes, this is the beauty of welcoming a very peaceful president. Very jubilant crowd. Molbe sewering back. Wala nga fo brina jam ko be nyon tangol jelega. Nyadum bo kelo la nyin. Ngabra say a senere Gambian call ko President Barrow is a choice of the people.
But we saw a similar crowd like this.
With who?
Bausen. When he was returning. No, I'm serious, Siri. I'm serious. I wish I can play that video and you see the crowd as well. He also came back and he was accorded a rousing welcome from the airport to his residence at Pipeline.
Let me do this.
So if it's just about
let me say this.
Is this not about crowd competition?
No,
because you saw that crowd and you went and organized a rally at Sukuta.
It's not about crowd.
And now
I pray for the lady who lost her life when Hussein Udaba was coming in Bansang. With the last name Cissé. What that manifested is they have mobilized people across the country to welcome Hussein from Yundum International Airport. We have not mobilized people from anywhere. We tell the people of Fonyi to do Kalaji. We tell the people of Kombo East, Mandinaba. We tell the people of Brikama, SSP. We tell the people of Farato, Kombo South, Farato. We tell the people of Sanimentreng, Old Yundum, Airport Junction. Serekunda, Talinding, Abuko, and Banjul. So we didn't bring people from the Bansang, the buses, and the lady lost her life in transporting people.
That's very unfortunate.
That's very unfortunate. We wish may her soul rest in peace. But last Dusano said, so we are not competing because we have no competitor. We don't have a competitor.
Well, that's your perception, right?
No, it's not a perception.
That's your opinion.
It's not an opinion.
That's your opinion.
It's not an opinion. It's a fact. I tell you, if we go to election tomorrow, The difference before was 200,000. It will 400,000 this time. Speak. Tomorrow. Tomorrow we call the election. An early election.
No, but people say, some analysts say Gambians are not happy. They're not happy with the NPP.
Gambians are not happy?
Yeah, that President Barrow must go in 2026.
I mean, of course. I mean, the hundreds of thousands of people who queue from Kalaji.
So some people even say the amount of money, millions that is spent on this store is very unnecessary.
What make it unnecessary? It's the National Assembly that approved. President Barrow did not break a bank.
And in fact, they said the president overspent.
Overspent what?
On this national, people.
He did not. So the Constitution is very clear. At least twice.
The
Constitution says...
No,
the Constitution said at least twice. The president had to go on tour.
In fact, this is a political campaign. The people told it's a political campaign.
That's their opinion. And I tell you, people who come on those platforms and speak, not everybody speaks to praise President Barrow. Some come and say... No, we don't. We are not involved.
But certainly also, I mean, if you know the president is coming to a particular area, you will certainly not identify someone who is a well-known, for example, UDP supporter.
But they will never come. It's people who come up from there, you select them to speak.
But they might want to come. They might want to come and you say, no.
No. It's a free meeting. You can come. It's a free meeting.
Really?
If anybody come and say and identify themselves to the governor and said, I want to make a statement, of course they can speak.
You think so?
Of course.
Governor will agree?
Well, I mean, we have seen previous meetings where people will who will not, speak in our favor, they will speak.
Yeah. Yes.
So we talked about the hospital.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
we will come back. Let's just get updates from our reporters in the field, Babukar Sise and Ansumana. If you can hear me, Babukar or Ansumana, where exactly are you at the moment and what is happening there? It seems we've lost contact with our reporter. Yes, Sid, yeah.
Yes, we talked about the hospital.
The health sector, yeah.
Yes, when Sadauda was here, he created this national health scheme. It is not called national health scheme or whatever, but that's sort of a scheme they have created where you go with your $5 and you get your medicine. Or you go with your $10, you probably will not get your medicine and they will write for you to go and buy the medicine. That's what we had, come Jambe, we have now. And now, with the hindsight of President Barrow, we have the National Health Insurance Scheme. This National Health Insurance Scheme, we have seen the pilot project where for the army, the health workers, and under 5, I guess, who are in this pilot project, whereby they will use this card and go to certain clinics like the Bundu Maternity Hospital, and they would actually use those cards and get these medicines. And I think this is the right way to go, because nowhere else where you go, you can go to a hospital and pay your $100, your $200, your $50, have a consultation and get medicine. It doesn't happen. That consultation, if you go to a private clinic today, the minimum you pay for a consultation is $700, $800.
But how many people are fortunate enough to go to?
No.
I'm
not saying they should go to. I'm not saying they should go to a private clinic. What I'm saying is that $100 or that $50 you are paying to a national health hospital, a national hospital like RVTH or Serekunda Clinic or Carnivin Clinic, that $100 cannot even pay for the consultation. So what is actually happening now with this government is to come with a scheme that you and I can able to go to the Serekunda General Hospital, to the Bundung Hospital, to Edward Francis Small Hospital, and be part of this scheme, this National Health Service scheme, so that we can see a doctor, have a consultation with a doctor, and get the drugs that we need, and we don't need to go to a chemist to buy it. So this is the scheme that President Barrow is doing. This is the scheme that his health ministry is doing. This is the scheme that his government is doing. And we are saying, with time, we'll make, every Gambian will get the quality health service they need. And the medications that if you are sick, you go to a health center, you will get it. rather than going to a health center, being prescribed to go to a chemist and buy it.
Yeah, but the problem is sometimes you go to this hospital or clinic city, you can in La Sasa, sometimes you can buy with nothing.
Yeah, but that's
they require to the pharmacy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why we have this National Health Service scheme. That's this health insurance. With this health insurance, you can go and get your medication, and you don't have to go and buy it.
Is it free? Is it free if you join the health insurance? You still pay.
But it's minimal compared to going to a clinic and being prescribed to go and buy these medications. You know, Ali, you've traveled.
Yeah,
you've seen all over the world.
Yeah,
nobody goes to a clinic and you just go and you have a consultation. You know, they prescribe for you and you just go to a chemist inside the clinic and get all those drugs. It doesn't happen. So we cannot keep it. It cannot, it cannot continue. You know, we need to move from the old ways of doing things.
But I mean, because we need to have this honest discussion. When you talk to so many people, okay, maybe government is spending millions to procure this borol puriyanang, but if people have this opinion or perception called bori jama ekalabang into private pharmacies.
I mean, if that happens, then
isn't that a concern?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether borrow, but I think I've seen a video or something when somebody wants to break a lab, a laboratory in one of the clinics. It's Serekunda, you know, just because you want a private scanning machine somewhere sitting, you know, to work. You know, that's bad. And if these medicines are bought,
all comes back to the attitudinal change that you are taking earlier on.
If these medicines are bought and they are taken to these pharmacies in our hospital, and people are taking them home, that is very unfair. That is very unfair. But I don't want to come with a revolutionary way of how we deal with our health. I'm not a health expert, but what I've lived, you know, way, you don't keep medicines in hospitals. If you see I and Ali will steal as a nurse in a hospital, the medicine is there. When the medicines are out of there, then nobody will steal. That's why you go out, unless you're admitted in a hospital, then you can be given those drugs. But just to come into a hospital and be given, you know, a prescription and go to a chemist in the hospital and get it, no, it doesn't happen. Because the hospitals are not the best managers of medication in terms of, you know, service with patients. You know, it's not. So that is another subject matter. It's not a matter that I can talk about. But if I have my wish, we'll have no medication in any of these hospitals that is for prescription.
But aside from that also, because I had the Minister of Information on my State of Affairs program 2 weeks ago, and I made a suggestion to him. If we want to avoid, I mean, people, you know, stealing these government procured supplies to private pharmacies, why not Masakunda they come up with this policy or these measures? Can make sure any borrow me and Masakunda they are procure. Make sure there's a Gambian flag. Can indicate this is procured by the Gambian government. Example, if I go to any pharmacy in Nyomi, ngaji government bal nako this is Masakunda la borolem. How comes it get to this pharmacy?
Yeah, but that will come with a lot of costs because, you know, you go to these companies, you know, pharmaceutical companies that will do you buy these medicines. If you want a personalized medicine, it will come with costs.
But if that's better, City.
No, but I mean, that cost probably can give you more drugs.
No, but what also costing you having all those drugs being stolen and taken to private pharmacy?
But I can tell you, if you have an aspirin box, you know, that is personalized with Gambia flag, they can still empty that and put it in the cupboard, and then Ali will come.
Exactly.
You know, a packet with the fire. So
we'll come back.
Take it. I think we need a revolution.
Thank you so much, CDC. Well, viewers, I mean, you're still watching our special live broadcast of the President's return from his Meet the People tour. We will go with a break, and up next is QTV News at 10 p.m. And after the news, we'll be back and continue the live broadcast. Thank you so much.